Welcome everybody. Working on this beautiful Pioneer SX-850 today. Got bulk of the recapping done. Give you a little view here. They've got small phono boards and power supply board. Tone boards are done. New power caps are in, they just need to be wired. Right now I'm working on the amplifier section. There's some electrolytics on here. You can see before we got the saniels that typically always go bad. Taking those out and replacing those with poly caps that last forever. So yeah, just gonna change out a few caps here, and decided maybe you guys can hang with me if you want. One thing is not the easiest one to work on, but not the hardest. Kind of weird how this amplifier board has to just hang here. You gotta undo 4 screws that hold the heat sink for the power transistors and take that out. 2 screws hold the amp board in, and then there's 3 screws on a heat shield that you've got to or not a heat shield, but just a shorting shield that has to come off. And you have access to the underside of the board to be able to remove caps. So there we go. There's our 1 UF and 2.2 UF out, which are small enough where you don't have to use a electrolytic again. Just gonna clean a little bit of this, clean this old solder off here. It's kind of hard to get to in spots. That looks good. Throw our 1 UF in first. Can never have enough light. That's why I got this flashlight kind of just hanging around here. It's got a magnet on it. Very convenient. You can just stick it wherever. See what the heck I'm doing. Alright, that one is in. There's the 2.2. Hung up on the pole, just hit it with a soldering iron and go right through. Boom. So those are good. I can heat those up and solder those 2 in. This is some thunder gusts back on there. Sometimes these poly caps I like to have a couple installed and then solder them in, because I typically don't like to hit them with a lot of heat at once. I'll do one leg of one and then do one leg of another, just to give it an opportunity to shed some of that heat. They're not quite as durable heat-wise, with a soldering iron anyway, as electrolytic I found, but in circuit, they're the most beautiful thing. Clip the legs off. Now always make sure I grab that lead and chuck it in an ashtray or something over here so it doesn't get lost in the amp somewhere and short out later down the road. Okay, so those 4 are done. I got a couple 330 UF. Looks like, is that really 10 volt? Yep, 330 UF 10 volt, which I am replacing with some 330 UF 25 volts. I'm gonna up that rating a bit. One, it's okay if they're a little bit over voltage in the circuit. 10 volts is a ridiculously low voltage rating. So these caps will definitely last and be able to handle whatever current's going through there. Plus you get like the 330 UF 10 volt. Nowadays those caps are just so small. I mean, you'll even notice a difference when I pop one of these out between this old 10 volt and this 25 volt. It's still quite a bit different size wise, which doesn't really matter. It's more aesthetics than anything, but I mean, it's just the old school in me. I like to see equal parts for what I'm taking out. So, you know, there you go. You can see the, I don't know if you guys see that on camera, but there's the old one, the gray one. There's the new one there. So, a little bit different, but close. I like it. And these are Nichicons. So, they're a good cap to replace with these Elnas here, probably. Yeah, old Elnas. So, let me clean up those solder holes. Looks good. Always remember which way the negative and positive goes, or you pay for it later. And that cap is in the board. I'll bend the leads over just a hair, just so that puppy will stay in place. And we can solder that one in. So yeah, I took a drive up north today. Went and looked at some property to buy. Good and bad. There's a good piece of the property. A little question about where the property line is, and if everything works out in our favor, might finally have me a piece of property up north here in the great old Michigan. It's literally out in the woods, and definitely no repairing up there. That's vacation only. I'd drive down a 2-track road just to get to it, but fingers crossed, man. Hopefully it turns out good. See, there we go. We clip a lead, goes flying. Always recover that flying lead no matter where it went. Got it. Alright, so that guy's in there. I can do the other 330 on the other side. Pretty much, you know, you got a left and right channel, so doing everything twice on this board. Very tricky to get in here surgically and not hit any wires. So that cap is out. Clean up the holes. one. I can barely get to the other one. We got it. SX-330 going in. Wants to be a little difficult. Gonna have to have at least one difficult one to go. This way, like they say in oh man, Trailer Park Boys. That's the way she goes. Bend those leads. Solder that one in. Got that. And that. We're golden. Let's take a look at these. Yeah, I could hit that one again. If there's any doubt of me being happy with that solder joint, I'm just going to hit it again. It's hard to get to. That looks better. Alright, so I'll clip those. Leave one flying on the floor. It's a good place for it. Don't walk out here barefoot. Be sorry. And there's the other one. Alright, I just got two more caps to do on that power amp board on the top side, so I have to flip the chassis around to do that. But hey man, glad you guys hang out. We'll give you another update once this gets further and how she's gonna sound later.